you quiet down and get still and think about things so that you can cultivate those new ideas. Okay. Now, the next, I like this. Different seeds prefer varying light conditions. Some like it bright to germinate. Some like it dark. One's not better than the other. But what I thought when I started thinking, okay, so how does that transfer into our ideas? A friend of mine is actually a mentor of mine. I heard him say that he takes his tablet with him to conferences and to church. And the reason he does that is because when he's listening to somebody else who's bringing good ideas, sometimes it triggers a good idea in him that he needs to pursue. So the point of attending a conference or listening to a speaker or even go a church service maybe, when somebody's trying to bring good ideas, their complete idea may not be what you want. Their idea may trigger something and stimulate something in you that you can write down and then think into and then further pursue. And that's your idea that you need. They already have their idea. It might just be an idea that you need that they stimulate and trigger. They're just a catalyst for it. Now, that kind of setting, I would consider that to be a bright environment. You're around a lot of people. You're around people who are bringing good ideas. It's like the lights are up. They're bringing their brightest ideas, I would presume, to it. So that's a bright environment. Now, other seeds need darkness to germinate, right? That's one of the reasons that I get up very early so I can be alone in the early and dark hours of the day. One of my favorite times of the day. I'm always bummed if I sleep until it's a little bit light outside. I like to get up when it's dark. I like to sit alone in low lighting so that I can just think, minimal input, minimal sensory input. And that's often when I get my best ideas and my clearest thinking. Recently, I had an opportunity to do some speaker training with a group, and shout out to Lauren Hope and This Is My Brave. These are people who have overcome various addictions and mental illnesses and things, and they're going to be sharing their stories here in Hampton Roads in April. So if you get a chance, check out This Is My Brave. But she invited me to do some speaker evaluation and training, giving them tips on things. And I didn't know exactly what I was going to say that day. I'd never met any of the people before. And I woke up about 3:00 in the morning that day. It was just like I had this download of ideas. And so I actually got my phone out and went to my memo and I started writing down all these ideas. And my wife was like, "What are you doing?" I said, I just had a bunch of great ideas for this meeting today. It's like God's just downloading these ideas to me. And I just started writing them down. And when I got there, what I did is I just opened up my memo app and I just went right through idea by idea and just shared and talked about it. And they were so encouraged. I mean, they were chanting something good's getting ready to happen. And, we were clapping and we were having a great time. And it was just good. But it was those ideas that I got in the middle of the night, in the darkness alone. So those are ideas that were stimulated in the dark, so to speak. So different seeds and ideas take different conditions to germinate. It's not all one and it's not all the other. It's great to be around other people and to ping pong those ideas back and to grow ideas together. It's great to sit alone and be still and grow ideas together. So now once those seeds germinate, now they're going to need continued right conditions according to what that seed is, according to what your idea is. So what I want to leave you with again, that everything in this world that we know came from an idea which was not rejected. So if the world's going to become a better place, what we need is your good idea that you don't reject. Now, I'm a coach, obviously, Jeffrey Byrd Coaching. So I do coaching, I do training, and what I love to do is to get and to help be a thinking partner with other people. Right? Help them come up with those good ideas, those issues that they're passionate about, those goals that they have that they really want, and help think through great ideas and then help track with them moving forward until that seed germinates and starts sprouting, and then to keep thinking on that. So like I said, this is going to be a series. We've got a number of things that come from this cultivating, this plant cultivation model that we're going to use about our ideas. So in our next In our next session, we're going to start looking at growing those seeds into greater fullness. That seed's going to become a seedling, then it's going to become a little viable plant, then it can be transplanted. There's a lot that we're going to look at.
Jeff will be back shortly to wrap up today's message. This is Gabriela, still on the scene today with Talk Network Radio. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. If you've missed any part of today's message, you can hear it again online, as well as the entire archive of Empowered Living at www.talknetworkradio.com or search keyword #Empowered Living. If you would like to learn more about Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, visit www.jeffbyrdcoaching.com. That is JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Do a Facebook search for @CoachingRocks or drop Jeff a line at jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. Again, JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Now, let's go back to Jeff for the rest of today's message.
What I want to leave you with today is a few questions. First of all is, when do you do your best thinking? Is it sitting alone in the dark in the morning like me? Is it when you're around other good thinkers and in meetings bouncing ideas around? Is it while you're actively doing something like going for a drive or taking a walk? When do you do your best thinking? And realize that it's okay to be different from other people. Some office spaces these days, they're rearranging them so that everybody's always in the open and always together. Well, that has some value. Excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze there. That has some value, but that's not the only thing. That's one good thing, but it's not the only good thing. So when do you do your best? And then next, what do you do with your ideas once you get them? Do you have a journal? Do you have a memo app? Do you put it in a Word doc? How do you capture them for further development? And I would encourage you to, whatever works for you, find some way. Number one, to spend some time thinking. And number two, to capture those good thoughts. Like now for my memo app, if I'm out driving or something, or I'm walking and I'm unable to write, I can do a voice recording too. So I can just speak right into it and I can still be alert and attending to other things. And I'm just talking. And then I can go back and transpose that and do other things with it later. And then the last question is, so when do you do your best thinking? How do you capture your best thinking and best ideas? And then the last thing is, how can you add a few minutes a day in order to gain more time when you do your best thinking? And if you don't do it at all, I would suggest, excuse me, that you start with 5 minutes per day. 5 minutes per day. And what I bet is that when you take that time to yourself, just to be still, to reflect back over things, to do some thinking, to start jotting thoughts down, and it can even be with right where you are. You don't have to be thinking out in the future. You can be journaling, just like I've had some recent guests that shared about their journaling, and I've known numerous authors who wrote books because of their journaling. So just start with 5 minutes a day, just sitting still, just writing down whatever's on your mind, thinking about it. And then I bet it's going to grow to more quickly, because I think you're going to enjoy the reflection and the new ideas it brings. So I'm so glad that you tuned in. This is going to be a fun and enlightening series as we think about, as we change the world through our ideas. It doesn't have to start with some famous person that's inaccessible to us. Their ideas are great, but their ideas are already there. Each one of us has seed potential of great ideas that can benefit us and that can benefit other people. But we need a little bit of time to nurture them. And we're going to continue looking at how we can nurture those and what environments and what practices we need to grow those into mature fruit-bearing plants, if it happens to be a fruit tree or plant, and how that can benefit us, how that can help us prosper, how that can help us become more influential, and how that can help other people do the same. Because we want to keep passing on the good stuff. We want to start a movement, right? We want to be a river, not a reservoir, as has been said many, many times. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if I can help you or your organization think into these type of ideas, come up with these good ideas, work through implementing these ideas, nurture and mature these ideas, please feel free. Reach out to me at jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. Again, Byrd is with a Y, B-Y-R-D, Jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. com. I would love to talk to you, find out where you're headed, see what ideas we can come with, and keep on the track of moving forward. So thanks so much. Again, this is Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you'll take a little bit of time to start setting aside time for yourself to think and to develop your very best ideas. Until next time, God bless you.